Good morning. Today is Friday. It's the end of our full week. We have 15 minutes into the opening bell. We're going to go ahead and get started here. Just pulling up the daily candles. We'll look at the same information together. I've had a really good morning, taking care of everything. I'm definitely prepared today. Alright, we're going to take a quick look at where we came from yesterday. Again, you can look at the prep and kind of skim through the day review from yesterday. But this is yesterday's action. Remember, we had some rotation from the defensive stocks to our main contributors. I guess to our, I'm not sure what these would be called, but the more heavier weighted sections for sure. Completely nothing on the calendar today. We do have some information coming next week, which I'll be interested to see how this goes. For the earnings, should be pretty light. Today's August 8th, and then our quote of the day is from Mother Teresa. If we have no peace, and it's because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. Interesting. We'll try this one too. Walk while ye have the light, lest darkness come upon you. John Ruskin. Okay. So I have some notes on how we can start. I'm pulling it up on my Notion here. Gonna start today a little bit more holistic, just a bit calm, especially given yesterday after I reviewed. I have a few gripes about yesterday, so we're gonna be a bit proactive today with the way that we handle our prep. So again, today's Friday, no news, no real earnings. Yesterday, we had a massive, somewhat engulfing candle, um, very strong volume-ish, high delta. Sellers got squeezed, and there was a lot of selling throughout the day. You can look at the previous session for more details. So from a quick glance, is the overnight session here? Is this bullish or bearish? I would imagine this is a bit bearish, and in the median time frame, we are bearish. On the macro time frame, we are bullish, of course, and in a very short recent action, we are still bullish. But this particular overnight session, this candle, it seems just a little bearish. That's all. We're going to look at the actual market profile. We got some balancing, lower highs, lower lows, stop run, lower low. What area are we possibly going through? Well, actually, this looks bearish as well. So our overnight session so far appears to be bearish. We'll go ahead and remove these singles. Nothing to note besides this light area here, this cave. And we're doing this on lightish volume. Volume has been tapering off, especially in these overnight sessions as we get closer to the RTH. I will say this appears to be a little more volume on the NASDAQ side, more than usual, but I could be mistaken there. We're just collapsing, combining these profiles here. Actually, we'll remove that Friday. As you can see, this is that Friday. I didn't update my zone, so we'll do that shortly. We popped through above that VPOC from Friday and sold off and sold off. Stop run, sold off even more, and pierced through this high volume shelf, which I believe actually is that the VPOC from yesterday? Yes, bouncing off the VPOC from yesterday. So this possibly we have day traders involved when we have exactness like this. Not much excursion above, and exact responses to particular popular areas, well-known areas, that is. I'm going to go ahead and switch these to potential support. Well, we'll stick to these with resistance as they are still battling in that zone. But these are now potentially support areas. These are going to be singles. And again, we're really going to watch our rhetoric on how we describe the auction. So we're not inviting any bias into what we're doing. I want to leave this area down here because this is still somewhat valid. This particular zone at the VPOC from the composite, yeah. We'll bring this down a little bit. Bring this down. We're actually going to turn this gray. Second week, composite VPOC. I do like the way this area looks. These highs, actually we'll leave this here. That's actually still valid. It's like a nice little valley and some highs. And again, we're having just a very intimate look at these two products. So yeah, this is going to turn into a pretty important area. Well, actually, we won't do that. Oh no, yeah, that's a VPOC from yesterday. I'm sorry. 100% should have taken care of this. We've already knocked out those singles. Really nothing else. Kind of like down here. But this is fine. This is for the NQ. Go ahead and merge all those together. Yep, that's still the VPOC. So yeah, the main balance is going to be down here, but we got a mid balance zone and a high balance zone. But we have been notating how they've been trading higher. So again, it's extremely bearish, but we have a lot of potential support areas. Keyword being potential. And we'll go ahead and exercise the other leg and see how go ahead and do these drawings here for the singles. And that same VPOC zone from Friday, we shot above it, and then we're getting rejected, which looks very similar to previous day's action. So again, this looks very bearish as well. We want to see if we want to keep these zones here. I'm just going to modify that a little bit. We got 8 minutes into the open. Yeah, I want to see how this goes because that's some form of support. I mean, form of resistance. And it's in front of those singles too. So I would be interested in seeing this. And then as we eat into those singles, they will want to use this as support. I mean, really, yeah. Really just the end of the singles. Okay. And it looks like we're starting to this whole volume node and from a history, which is the same VPOC on the NQ. So we're having a nice response. So a bearish rejection, but we're finding our way back up. Yeah, this area down here has all kind of shit. I mean, yeah, this whole area is just important. Yeah, we're gonna have to leave that. It's messy, but that may be an area where we need to be mindful of. Okay, so again, we're looking somewhat bearish. So intermediate time frame would be bearish. Higher time frame would be bullish. Very short time will be bullish as well. So we're still leaning to the bullish side, but as we get more information, this appears to be a bit bearish. Their goal of the day was to build volume higher, and that's not the case. They're not doing their goal, and do remember that this is in a bearish channel. What did they accomplish? We're able to we're able to burst through some of these other levels. We didn't break this gap zone here, and we did pierce above here. We got a little traded a little above, but appears to be a little of a tail that's forming. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up Jigsaw. And was there any surprises? No, and really nothing worth mentioning for, yeah, how do we finish? Again, it's just still a little bearish from what we can see. Yeah. All right, one moment. Gonna go ahead and pause this. All right, and we are back. Look at me switching scenes. All this should have went well. Sorry, the market was getting ready to open. I want to make sure that we do have that We do have that prepared. All right, nice. So again, we're not leaning to bearish or bullish or anything. We don't have any kind of data, so we're a little short on information at the moment. So we're just going to remain objective and continue with our prep because we still need to do our spreadsheet. I was out exercising this morning, so I'm a little behind. Go ahead and clear these out. Again, we can just work backwards here. So yeah, NQ is leading our way down, which is good. The Dow is selling off a bit. Microsoft not so well. Not the best with Apple. Nvidia we pulled back 30 basis points. Apple's trying to hold. Meta and Google are selling. Eli Lilly is still doing well. That's good for healthcare. I'm curious how they're doing as a whole. And then we have the Broadcom who were pumping yesterday. They're up a whole percent, which is a nice start off. A nice markup. Tesla up 20 basis points from the open and they're still down 78. So this is pretty bearish. So we may see a little bit of a pullback here, but we see Nvidia is starting to pump up. Utilities, that's not good, but again, they were distributing money yesterday. Industrial finance, they're about even. They're selling off pretty big at the open for utilities. I'm curious why they're taking profits like that. Healthcare is holding it down. Tech is doing pretty decent. A little bit mixed up between bearish and bullishness, but this is it's pretty sturdy. P and K are staples in our communication. The VIX is up almost a whole percent, and we're about even on crude oil and gold. So nice overall. Okay, nice. Gonna go back to my Notion, seeing if we have any particular zones. So we'll do this in a 15-minute. Actually, it'll be better to just do this on the market profile. Really, yeah, I don't really have anything too much. It's just a lot of balanced trading here. All right, so we'll go ahead and knock those out. So we had no SOC for the day. We're already aware of the potential catalysts, earnings, quote boards, equities. There's no specific headlines to be aware of, to my knowledge, but I will check my news service. Some Canadian data. Still a little geopolitical. There was an earthquake that hit Japan. Intensity lower of 5 on a 1 to 7 scale. So yeah, Japan government issues emergencies earthquake, and this was at 4 in the morning. So they probably had like a little bit of selling. Then we got some comments from the Fed. Okay, very light. And we have our price map. So take another look at this ES. So the area that we are above, that's our overhead supply, is the 55 to 65. I'm gonna write this down by hand. And then we have the below us, which we just bounced off of. Let's call it 25 to 15. We have our singles. We have our singles from 06 to 92. And we have our singles above, some singles below there as well. Anything else, we'll revisit. I'm gonna remove this FOMC comment. I thought I did that last time. Last line of defense. The last line of defense is from 82 to 70. 82 to, let's say, 75. Okay, nice. I'm gonna go ahead and save all this. Again, Delta, we're at negative right now, so sellers trying to step in. And you can just see the position here. Again, this is going to be subject to change as we get more relative volume. Let's take a quick look at the quote board. Nice, nice. Nice from Eli Lilly, still nice from Broadcom, but this may be a bit of that pullback. So this is the high, so we're going to copy this. So actually, let me not say there may be a pullback. We'll see. So again, we were bearish. Intermediate time frame is bearish, and the higher and shorter time frame is bullish. The overnight was bullish. I mean, the overnight was bearish, and so far, actually, we'll make our comment at 15. I'm updating some notes on my other screen. All right, let's see what noise we have on the field right now. Let's throw in a price squat. Okay.
Block by.
So we can hear what's going on. What we are listening to is the NQ. Hmm. The audio stopped playing for some reason. Ah, yeah, the audio wasn't playing, but that's fine. Alright, well, if that audio isn't going, I'm just going to turn that off. I don't think it was being picked up. There we go. Alright, so I have it on mute. That way it's not waking up my spouse. Alright, take, take a look at how these candles are looking. Got our 138-minute candles up here and up here. We got some volatility trying to pick up with the VIX. And I don't want to have the 3-minute candles being my main focus. So again, I can't hear price clock right now. So hopefully it's not too annoying. Let's go ahead and check in with our quote board. Look at the VIX starting to pick up there. So since that time, XLU is still selling off for some reason, which is weird to see. VIX picking up. We got some buyers down here. Up 2% for Eli Lilly. They're really thumping. But XLV as a whole aren't really taking off. So we definitely have some selling going on. Definitely a lot of selling just across the board. I'm using this tick data a bit more. May not be able to see, but yeah, we got definitely some selling going on just in general. Going to detach these windows here. And detach. can see where we're at here on the NQ, and we're getting sucked. I mean, on the ES, and we're getting sucked back into this range here,
Blocked
which
by.
should be former resistance. So this may be a bit choppy of a zone. Very similar to yesterday's action with our rounded top. So I would expect that we may see more downside, given how the intermediate is bearish and the short time frame right now is a bit bearish. Go ahead and turn down price block a little bit. Bear with me, I need to switch. I need to have these always visible and always visible. That way I can switch chart books. And we're going to do the same thing here. And I have these on my other screen. Okay. I feel really good here. Got everything taken care of. We are above yesterday's range. So though this may look a bit bearish, we are above yesterday's range. Just want to make sure I get that stated out there. We're two-way trading above the VWAP, and as we open, we're opening near the bottom of the range after a fresh low. So as of right now, we're at our 30s, which is in between those other areas that we spoke of. Should be headed towards the 25s, which is where we bounced off from. Which if you look here, that'd be near the overnight low, which is near the 20. 19 to be exact. Again, this is lighter volume than where we were, but just nice volume just in general. So as we're now 20 minutes in, I want to say that this looks a bit bearish as well, but we're above prior range. So if this is going to be a day where we're having a possible open rejection reverse, rejecting above, rejecting above the yeah, that VPOC zone here, and getting close to that last line of defense from the sellers. So it looks like they're trying to protect their sides, but this is still pretty bullish. So if we're gonna bounce anywhere off support, we'll need to see a nice hold, a breakthrough A balance, a sharp pullback to B into the B bracket, or a breakout of B bracket and a quick pullback. But as of right now, this may be a situation where we break lows and you do like a IB low retest, or maybe a pullback to a shorter DGB level, given the bearishness and the heaviness that we're seeing. So I'm not looking one way or the other, but as of right now, we're about even. We have higher and a lower time frame being bullish, or more recent action being bullish, and then the intermediate trend overnight and RTH so far is bearish. So as of right now, it's about 50-50. We're going to need some kind of event, whether it's a reversal, a key break of a level, because we really don't have enough information from what we can see. But this is that same pattern, the same structure that I see when we would somewhat sell off, except it's typically ES that would hold pretty decently, and then have a little upwards movement, and it'll be NQ that would leak a little lower. So this role is reversed, switched right now. Knowing these two products pretty well, I believe you need to be patient and see if it's actually NQ that becomes a bit more weak given the structure. But we just don't have enough information as of right now. So again, you look up here, we're building higher above. Still bull flagging. Bounced off that support. Bouncing off some former resistance. And this looks like we're accepting prices near this VPOP, but we have to hold. You see some exertion from these sellers. That was a little stop run right there. So this would be important for us to continue to pull through. If not, we're gonna head our way down. VPOC is a bit lower, VPOC is above for ES. Not by much. Another 300-400 contracts and VPOC would be down here on two different prices. Same thing up there really. So yeah, this is some nice balance action going on. You can't look at this and I can't look at this and say I have an edge in this. So if we're building a nice consolidated range, it'd be very nice for us to see a breakout and then a pullback into this area. It's for a somewhat simple play. I'm gonna switch these. I'm on my other screen. Just making sure we have our everything ready. Okay, we have our account locked, but we are prepared. We have our presets. We're good. Okay, and we're starting to see a bit of that two-way action again. And then we have our rules. If this is a open auction, then it's a higher probability that we're going to need to sit on our hands for the next bracket and wait and see. But we're getting a lot of good information here. Just looking at the other screen here, just from this pullback from 644, we have NQ leading. Nvidia is down 80 basis points. Meta is up almost 1%. Tesla is up 0.6. So Nvidia leading us down is not ideal. So yeah, take us leading our way down. Yeah. That just flipped there. Now Nvidia is down 1.15. An additional 30 basis points. VIX is starting to rise a bit. So we got another 4 minutes. Let me check, make sure that volume's still been picked up. All right, you're up. I'm gonna turn on. This price clock shouldn't be too loud, Amanda. There we go.
Block sell.
This may be that break. I would be interested in kind of playing that short, but again, I don't really care for this open auction that we have. We are leaning to the downside. Huh? I may take a small stab. Depending on if we break this. We do have this VIX rising pretty nicely. We have another 10 seconds. I'm really just looking for an event on the order book. See that pullback? Ah, I got it locked. No. Okay. We'll just wait. It's got too light down there anyway, so I'm gonna hold off. Yeah, I got too quiet. See how we finish this candle. 8 more seconds. Is it a bearish close for that 1 minute candle? No. Like a nice little hold. And Q is a bit weaker. All right, I'm in short. And this is on the freaking ES. Yeah, that was a blunder.
Stop fill.
All right, that was a 3 point. That was a 3 point. A 3 point loss there. That was a little blunder, but no worries. All right. I'm in short on the NQ. I'm putting my stop above here. This would be like a 14-point stop. I'm in short at the 22s.
Block buy.
I want to see the buying, but no progress. Got another 20 seconds. VPOC is lowering on the ES. All right, I'm out. I don't like the way we're kind of supporting here. Again, this isn't a specific play. We're just managing our risk here. Yeah. Oh, that was the order book. Um, that was interesting to see. I don't see that often. Just the way they were pushing down as they shot up. I feel like that's really bearish. Would this be a decent shot for a reposition? Hold on, who's doing worse in this situation? Tech, of course. Yeah, that's fine. All right, next play. All right, so we got another 30 seconds. So again, as we finish the A bracket, we have more of an open auction. We are leaning to the downside for sure. However, we don't really have enough information. We're building volume in a very consolidated space here. Let's go ahead and get our map back out. You can see where we're at here. I believe that was a pullback that we just had to that area. So not surprised that we have a little bit of a response there. I believe this is the same situation. Yeah, we actually defended that area. Yeah, this is why I didn't want to get on the S&P 500. The video was a bit weak a while ago, so that gave me a little more confidence, but NVIDIA is still down at this moment, so I'm gonna go ahead and do another refresh on our times, and we'll be taking this snapshot at 7:03. And I like having the order flow in the back, so I'm not actively looking the whole damn time. All right, so taking a snapshot at 7:03, so we'll see where we're at this point. Definitely a nice pullback there. NQ is leading us upwards. Seeing a lot of buying, not getting the most effort. It's getting a bit quiet. Getting ready to finish this 5 minutes. This should excite some people. Unless the Bears are going to finish this. Nah, we're still pushing. Nice from the Bulls. So again, this is more balanced action. I'm going to take a Attempt here short. I'm in short at 85s. I'm moving my stop down to 10 points, which is above this tail high. If we get stopped out, we get stopped out. It's 15 points actually from the previous 3-minute high. And we're just playing our range trading here. Again, we're in at, let's call it 45. Got another 5 seconds for this candle. 485, my apologies. Finna get stopped out. Okay, cool. Let's see. The video has gone up since then. I'm gonna attempt this selling once more. Yeah, if we get stopped out, be like 15. So we're in at 88 halves. I'm out again. You know, as of right now, this feels. Yeah, I told myself I was gonna remember I was gonna take breaks, so let me just wait so we have time. I'm looking at my note card that I have for my orientation. So yeah, just remembering that we're bullish on the macro. Yeah, we said about 50-50 for both sides. From the macro, the intermediate to the short, to the overnight, and where we are now for the RTH. Because as right now, it's still showing open auction. It's literally about 50-50. If anything, I do feel not a little upset, but I do notice that we're looking at the buying down there, which is the reason that we ended up getting out. But that's perfectly fine. Okay. All right, we broke some little structure, not structure there, but it's a little gaps. They've been refilled. The video is still doing decently well. I'm a little hesitant to get in. Yeah, I haven't had too much success here. Just giving information from the market. I think we should just wait because that's kind of forcing it. Next little break. And refilling those. This volume is really light. We got another 5 seconds for the end of this candle. 5-minute candle, that is. Yeah, just wait. We got a lot of time. We said we were gonna do well today. Don't wanna not even overtrade, but I mean, there's not a specific plan, and us trying to scalp in a balanced market, we should have been doing this when things were volatile. All that is done. Posture. Understand that we are in like an open auction kind of an environment. It's more balanced. So I'm just gonna ask myself, what's so why am I infatuated with we're going short here?
Block buy.
Yeah, look at the way they just shook off. They just shook off those sales for NQ. NQ is getting ready to break out, but ES is a
Block
little
buy.
weaker still. Want to see if we do break out. So like now, this is good information. When what should happen doesn't. So I don't need to be a part of this selling here to make money.
Block buy. Block buy.
And I'm not even gonna say that I feel good that this is going to the upside. I'm just happy I didn't keep trading. I didn't have a specific plan. Back in this range again. Nvidia is leading us from hell up 1.8%. Take a look at this higher time frame. These 15 minutes. Just the positioning everyone. Super light volume. Super light. Poor positioning from sellers. May get squeezed for a bit. VIX is catapulting down. Yeah, this feels like we may be getting back to that old environment that we were in. Just a slow grinding up. Whoop. Buyer. I mean, some sellers.
Block sell.
And the buyers are still holding it. I think they got filled. So none of that should have been really much. That should have just been getting them into their overnight levels. Yeah, yeah. All this is just from overnight. Yeah, buddy, we got a lot of time. This motherfucking market is open 6.5 hours for RTH. Okay, but this is that breakout that I wanted to see, so I would like to see maybe like a pullback here into this midsection. So look at that. You just need a little more information. Ugly looking sandwich. Again, we are still bullish on the very intermediate time frame. You can look at the daily candle here, which is why I like having it here. Our delta is still rising. We're pushing upwards. I just don't see a position for me to get into the trade outside of that pullback that we had down here. But given the lack of volume, just aggression on either side, I really didn't see much worth. I do see some larger orders are coming in a slick fashion. I'll be willing to look a little short here. I want to see us pull back up. We didn't come back up. I think I just missed it. Yeah, that or when I saw that, should have just hit and got in right there. That was a clear waning of that pressure. Looking at a potential pullback for the full session VWAP on NQ. Again, it's a lighter volume, so easy to be a bit deceived by this price action. So everything is it's real subtle,
Block sell.
real subtle. But we did see that waning pressure near the highs. But I'm still looking for a potential pullback. I want to see how we behave at that level. Maybe get in, and I want to see this shit take off because that's the kind of response we should have. It really shouldn't like sit down there. But we'll need a little more information. We want to see how it tests because we have that midpoint of that consolidated range that we were talking about. So again, we just want to stay biased, unbiased rather. Yeah, don't stay biased. And what's up with the ES? It's utilities, industrials are still doing pretty bad. Man, VIX is getting smoked. VIX is down 2% for the day. Yeah. Real lethargic action. Not too much going up. Let me step a little away and the fact that we're back. We're back above. This isn't really like a nice of a breakout as I would like to see, but it's still a breakout out of that B bracket. Given where we are, I would imagine we'll have a bit of a deeper pullback to the downside. So yeah, as of right now, yeah, we're down 3 points on the MES because of the blunder that we had earlier, and this was supposed to be on the Nasdaq, and I could have hit out. Um, But I sat down and waited. Well, what if it goes down? I might as well. Which, if I have a mistake, my rule is just to hit out. So, and then we took 3 trades on NQ, I believe. One should have been a loss, or two. No, yeah, two. Okay, we may if we break this level, man, I see a little continuation head into that pullback zone that I was looking at. Actually, you know what? I mean, yeah, all this is still pretty balanced, but we're balancing above prior day's range, above prior day's high. We're consolidating in some resistance areas, which can possibly lead to distribution and some downside. But um, if we're consolidating in support after a real bearish day, we would assume more prices would go to the downside. So really the same concept applies to the upside to a degree. So I'm just kind of here just twirling in my chair, just looking, sitting on my hands, if you will. I'll be possibly open to looking at a long if we have a bit more of a pullback. Well, that's not good on the NQ. So
Block
we'll,
sell.
we'll want to see and that continuation right there. So if someone's like looking for confirmation, that's like confirmation for me on the order book. We have those, yeah, those little gaps, and we just continue selling from there. We're having trouble filling those up. All right, we got them back, but they're very light volume. Yeah, people are not really trying to trade higher prices as of now. End of this end of the minute rather. One more minute would be the end of the 3 minute bar. Every time we're breaking lower, we're relieving a bunch of empty spots. Do we fill them up or do we continue lower? There it is. That's what I was looking for earlier. There we go. Let it all out. Let it out. Come on. You ain't come this far to go this far. Come on. Come back down. Again, I'm not in a trade right now. We are flat. Calm down. Come on. And you see, look at the velocity again. The volume is light. I don't really care for using the DOM on light days like this, but at least it's somewhat relaxing. It's not a bunch of bombs going off, a bunch of deceitful stuff. So that ended up just being a doji candle on a 3 minute. We're balancing lower. Typically, when we're balancing lower like this, especially with these dojis, quote unquote signal bars, may have like a nice little impulse. You saw the little passive sellers that showed on the NQ, and then they disappeared. I would imagine they just said fuck it and hit out. Given they disappeared and you saw a little thrust come down. So who's selling like that? Who would sell like that as you're coming down? You have a whole bunch of ask, and you say fuck it, just spray it out. That feels like a puke. So is this buyers with some confidence? Are these new shorts that are entering? You don't know, but the fact that we're breaking and we're seeing not as many ask as we're breaking lower with these sweeps, we're also seeing some sellers on our way back up. trying to build volume higher and people losing patience. Really light volume. This is a sleepy day. I shall use this for journaling. I'm putting my mic on mute. There's nothing to talk about here. We'll just look. All right, I want to see if we're gonna break this little low here. Pretty much at like a little tweezer bottom, tick tick below on the S&P 500. We got some sellers trying to step up near those 50s, slowly inching their way down. Yeah, having a lot of passives on our way down, and then when we're coming back up, and then they just disappeared. Now they're a little higher, and that feels like sellers trying to sell at higher prices. Sellers, this may be considered too cheap. There we go. You saw that 600 show up on the uh, on the offer. There we go, 600 again at the 53s. And it also could be a situation of they're trying to get filled and they're just simply not. And if they have some size, they're gonna have to start liquidating just a little sooner. So if we do get below the lows, we may see a bit more urgency. Just the way we're kind of coiling like this, I feel like this would be a potential short. Uh, this is just really weak. But I mean, I'm not seeing anything that's making me want to get in here, and I think that's like a cardinal sin in trading is not to diddle in the middle, as they say. So there shan't be diddling. All right, we're at the half hour mark. We're at 7:30, so we may see like a little burst. I'm updating my spreadsheet. I'm looking for short. Dang, I missed it. I tried to get on the offer. I pulled. I pulled it. All right, we want to see if that long is gonna potentially show up for the S&P. I want us to hit that open in that mid. It's around 38s, 37s. Hit that open for NQ. All right, so we're here. You want to see a little pullback. 15 seconds to the end of this minute. And we're starting to collapse under. And Q hasn't hit their open yet. That's that minute. That may attract some sellers. Alright, I'm in. This is like a really tight stop. Again, volatility is a little lower. So it ends up being like 2 points at 38 quarter. And Q is getting a little weaker. But I'm gonna leave that stop there. I want them to get off the ground. I don't like that. Actually, it's not about what I like. Oh yeah, I don't like that amount. Yeah, that was ugly. There's a lot of selling right there. Yeah, I'm out. Ended up being 2 tick loss. Now they got stopped out there, which is fine. Potential hold. Another 15 seconds for the end of this minute.
Stop filled.
Yeah. All right, we'll go ahead and remove this here. All right, I'm in this long again. 15-point risk on NQ. I'm in at 45 half. 14-point stop actually. But don't like how we're starting to look a little weak. However, the market's gonna do what it's gonna do. Let's pull back to the impulse. And they're looking a little stronger than ES. Yeah, buyers are really gonna need to hold that. They're trying to get some, trying to advertise some higher prices. Yeah, the sellers are stepping in, willing to sell on up moves. I end up liquidating right there. Again, I really don't like this balance action, and again that response from the market that gives me a little bit feedback that some other people are thinking the same, which may or may not be the case, but that's what it feels like, which is the liquidation that we're seeing there. That's wild. That's wild. When what should happen doesn't. We had our breakout. We didn't have any kind of continuation. We are trying to hold though. We're holding this mid and this open for ES and the open for NQ. So it's ugly, but they're holding it. And again, we're all just in this balance range. That's the main reason that I just got out of it. So I'm already way over.
Block sell.
I'm already way over my typical limit for the day. How many trades have I taken? Taken 7 trades. Oh, that's today, right? Jesus. I mean, it's just scalping, so I mean, I'm not too worried about that. All right, we're starting to see a little buying pressure now. And again, I can always get back in. You feel that strongly about it. That was the end of that 5 minute candle just a few moments ago. Nice. That was a break above that area. Yeah, we just pull right back to my exit at 470. So yeah, like you feel like you would want to get back in. This is just kind of thoughts for future reference. You would want to see pull it back where we got out. Is that still being supported? We will be under that location. Do you still feel like this would be something that you would want to buy? That would be the point. You would buy it as that little flicker up, and then you just continue with the trade that you have. I would imagine. I'm not sure if that's the best practice for that, but that seemed like a fairly nice pullback, providing ample opportunity to continue upwards. But again, we're very much diddle in the middle. I'm not trying to resume a structured idea, which is a big difference from where we're at now compared to where we were previously. This is not Monday. This is not Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. This is a whole new day. So again, that's what I'm talking about here. You have the ability to get back into the trade. You don't have to sit back out. You're a retail trader, and it's up to you when you get out. VIX is dropping, by the way. It's up to you when you get in and get out. And even right now, where just because you buy at higher prices doesn't mean it's any bad. Yeah, if you buy late like that as a whole ass breakout with no plan, yeah, you can suffer some pullbacks. But even paying an additional $4, additional $8 there, for the currency value. I mean, it's the 70s right there. So yeah, hey, get back in now. So again, we use the order flow. We can kind of see what's happening in possible future for the next minute ish, minute five, maybe 15 minutes max, kind of depending on the terrain and the situation. Hell, that would have been a good opportunity for a pullback. We're thinking about the long side still. Just a thought as well. So again, I don't really care for this diddle in the middle. This can be another retest of that open. I would have got stopped out a while ago. Just for a mental trade I took. So yeah, you sitting here bitching and complaining about the 70s. I think we got in like 52, right, or some shit. I don't know. The 70s. Now we're at 55. That was a little while ago. Check out this here little footprint. You can see Stellar's starting to get stuck here, and they have some bad positioning as well. So this will make sense to buy, especially given I'm looking at 1 minute bars at the top, which probably is the best idea. I'm looking up here. And VPOC is now up here for the ES in Q as well. We're getting back to the 70s, which is so. Also, when I say that the market is giving me feedback, I also like the areas that I'm participating in. Sometimes end up being like the VPOC. So you can say that I'm diddling in the most traded price, or I guess balance range. But the way I see it is the most accepted price of the day is where I did my business. Is where I'm doing my business, which gives me a nice feedback response from the market, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go take a quick break. We got like another 15 minutes. From what we can see, open auction, open auction, which means we really should just be waiting right here anyways. It's actually looks like a decent time to buy. You got some bids that were trying to chase this up. I saw them briefly, so we're probably gonna like pull back for a quick moment. If we pull back to these 65s below that VPOC on the NQ in this area, we really would need to push forward. But it's just so much balance in these areas. There's no real pockets. So I mean, this is just yeah, this is basically like a pivot. We're a little bearish below, we're a little bullish above. There's a little pullback, not too much. We didn't get down. That's a little sign of strength. Stops. You can saw the little spreading. They were reaching the darker shades.
Block sell.
They had some slippage. May not necessarily be the slippage, but the I forget what it's called, but they had to extend like an additional tick or two.
Block sell.
I just noticed this. So let me fix this. Fixing this stream.
Block buy.
Still got that passive sellers up there in the 50s. Again, got the possibility for a potential short. We're getting up here in these wicks. That seller is not getting filled. I'm sure he's going to get a little irritated possibly. And they're starting to stack up. Got 300 here, 300 here, 200. And watch as we push up. They're going to just scurry and run.
Block sell.
Notice this NQ had a bit more volumes, picking up a little bit of the velocity. Orders are coming in. They're still staying here. Check out this delta. I'm going to clear it. Get a little better visual on what's going on. A lot of sellers under the VPOC, but we already know that because we can look at 70 here and see all these sellers here, 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 here. We already know that, and we have some above us as well. So sellers are just really kind of flying around. They're like that annoying mosquito, and they're staying very persistent. You ever been to a picnic and had a damn mosquito or a bug trying to be your best friend? All right, I'm gonna take a physical note in my journal.
Block buy.
Also, so I like to mention, you can see
Block buy.
where we got in. We bought on a bid here. We had our stop below here, which is about 14 points. Since then, we've made higher lows, 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 higher lows. Why are we out of this trade? Though, seeing this in real time, I can feel it, and it's natural for me to do that. However, higher highs and higher lows the whole time. Of course, I didn't have this information then. But just a thought, something to kind of chew on. However, I can't complain about exits. When I'm not talking about targets. All right, we have pulled it at I believe 7:30, and since 7:30 we have the NQ down 0.3%. They're about that area where I say we should short, given the context and the lethargic activity that we're seeing on both sides. In that time, the video has risen 70 basis points. Everyone else kind of took a pullback. Yeah, everyone else just had a small pullback, and they're back at their base. So I'll go ahead and do this again as we are at 7:52. Yeah, everyone's doing fairly decent. XLU really picked up the pace. VIX going down again. Yeah, I mean that's the whole pullback that I was looking for. I had it on my chart and everything. Just being able to stand and trade and just understanding that I'm gonna write this down in my note. The dawn is on the tool for the shortest time frame. Our trading concept process incorporates all factors. So once we're in on a theory, stay in. Is this a scalp or nice? Lower high, yes. Lower high and Q. This is what I was talking about. So they seem a little weaker, and then we evened out. Now they appear to be a little stronger. While NQ is tapering out. So I would be stuck in a mindset of, all right, we got a long NQ, which is where I was, and it's why I long the micro version of the NQ. However, ES may have been the a bit of a better setup, which is why it's important to wait when we see the open auction. Wait when we see the open auction, and we get a little bit more information. Pull back and post a pullback to our area. Super textbook. Wait, gauge, stock, ready, aim, fire. So more of this practice and we'll get there. I'm gonna go ahead and take some electronic notes of this. Or structured trade.
Block by.
Volume share started to pick up. People are getting stopped out. Is this going to be a situation where we tick above a couple of ticks? No, we're trading above. Good job, buyers. And you can look at a higher time frame at the top right. It's a possibility this may be the breakout. Ooh, I didn't think about that. For this structured trade, where may this lead? All right, I'm gonna put myself on mute. I'm taking my notes. I'm doing a very good job. Very clear and concise. We remained objective. My main gripe will be the not distinguishing, is this a scalp or is this a structured trade? A reminder that this is a structured trade and leaving our stop in, engaging for higher highs and higher lows, regardless of what it looks like in real time, or we just get stopped out. It's important to gauge the progress of the campaign of that trade. So, gonna go on a brief mute. We'll be back. Also, just my thoughts before I leave. I still believe that this may, well, let me not say that. We are still in a very balanced range. So let's take a quick look at the profile. We're coming at the high part of this balance, trading above into these other zones. Same situation here, literally trading into Friday's range. And you saw all the effort that we put in yesterday to get over that wall of volume. I'm curious, do they really have the stamina on a Friday? I imagine maybe balance. So we may revisit this midpoint again, but we're not really seeing any activity from the VIX. I'll be back. Sorry, one more thing. Make sure you look at the delta because we reset the delta, so we should really have a good idea of what's happening in a shorter time history. Yes.
Block by. Block by. Blocked by. Block cell. Blocked by. Block cell.
So as I left, we're still about in that same position. The only thing that's really changed is we had not really much excursion above. There were some buyers attempting to push. As you can see up here, it's a lot of activity going on, but not too much reward, not too much progress above. So it definitely look a bit bearish. There may be a look above and fail. Again, volume is really light, but I mean, the volume is light and the volatility is low and dropping considerably. That's acceptable. It may just be a grinding up kind of day. I mean, we grounded up yesterday with the help of a catalyst, nonetheless. I'm gonna go back on mute. Again, we don't really have too much. I wouldn't be interested in joining along, even on a pullback. It's just a really crowded trade. I'm mainly looking at this higher time frame because this is just balance, and you can just see that we're just in balance. You can see the footprint down here, no real outliers. You will see the shaded colors. So again, just a real dull session. I don't, well, I don't have any opinions on anything, let me say that. But I would imagine it would be hard for us to remain up here if we're staying bearish. We do have a lot of buyers that are stuck just looking at the delta above us. And again, do remember, we are in a lot of overhead structure. Look at the NQ. Just 3-minute bars. We just have this overhead supply. Yeah, I'm not jumping on this. And if you look at our profile, this is just balanced, super balanced. But this is a slight pullback to the IB high for the NQ. I'm just putting on sim mode. I think I'm gonna be
Block
done for
sell.
today. You know, we can definitely have something interesting happen, but yeah, I'm running a bit short on time. It's a lot of structure above us. It's a lot of structure below us. Make sure I muted my mic.
block by,
made my way back, and again, we're in the same spot. Very similar to the distribution from Wednesday. Delta is still positive for the day. We definitely have some sellers in here being aggressive and passive for sure. This is a lot to fill. I want to see, do we break through here and hold above? Yeah, there's some people buying in. There are people selling in here in these 50s. If we can't get this filled, you could front run this. But yeah, we got like a little bracketing going on here. All right, about to mute mic. So just to make this clear, as we finish up this bracket that we're on, I'm not interested in shorting anywhere but a retest of the open, given the information that we have. And I'm only going long if we have some impulses near this open and we defend it again with a higher low. Okay. All right, so this is the impulse that I was looking for a while ago. Notice price squawk is picking up. So I was alerted to that as the volume, just started to increase. We're at our IB high for the ES, which is a bit bullish because NQ is already under and cutting through the VWAP. Now we're having the same behavior here. We have both bands for the ES for the next level of support. NQ pretty much need to make their stand now, or they revisit the mid, which would be about the 50% of that impulse, which would be nice. I'm not interested in doing a trade with this, just given the lower volume that we're at. I absolutely pass. I mentioned a while ago what we were looking for. You can see the volume really increasing. This was a very nice hold for the buyers here. We have a lot of sellers that are stepping in lower. Those are those 50s. So they were real slick in a passive sense. And now they're starting to do like some hidden orders and icebergs as we fall below these 50s. So we have some very sneaky orders coming in here. And the buyers, when need be, they're really kind of stepping in, but we're kind of spinning our wheels here.
Block by.
That's that defense that we were seeing. We're leaving some gaps on the bids. Volume's picking up. Again, we're going to be in these 50s. Notice we still have some passive sellers. Yeah, there's somebody who's really offloading on these 50s.
Block sell.
Where are we at in regards to delta for the days? Yeah, this is that big zone from 60s to 50s. A lot of volume here on that Friday. Yeah, this is a dangerous zone. Yep. Exactly these 50s. Same situation here, not much traded above. Again, same situation. More on the immediate time frame, we're still bearish. More on the most recent, this is bullish. Macro is still bullish. And given right now in the very moment, we're balanced. We don't have enough information. We're still inside the ID range. This is not something you want to be a part of. You can possibly long a scalp here with somewhat tight risk, given the reduced volatility and the stops that people are going to have. However, you're dealing with historic moment above us and a lot of downside to below us. Look at ES. Look at the inside trades. It's a lot of activity going on here. Again, these are these 50s. A little release lower. We got a new 3-minute bar. It's a very solid hold. This would be a possible entry for me, depending on the situation and the context, but not today. I have my account locked at the moment. So yeah, unless we just have like a major release, like down until under, it'll be a little nervous to do it. But I'll possibly entertain a scalp to the long side. I'll possibly entertain a scalp to the long side, to the downside. I would need to see a whole ass break under for a low and a retest. And that may be a situation for later in the day. I don't have the time for it. I have other priorities. I'm not sitting here and looking at this. Especially after given this week. I'd rather retain my mental capital than just window shop and just really confuse myself. And honestly, the more that I look at this and I decide, no, I don't want to, no, I don't want to, yeah, what about this? That's just draining some of my decision making. It's a real subtle drain, but draining nonetheless. Notice the delta that's above us. Again, these were all those passive sellers that we saw. Delta above us. So that was a passive fall. Running out of buyers, possibly exhaustion, but we're still unrelenting. We have about 12 points to the downside. What is this, 30, 40? About almost 50 points to the downside from the highs on the NQ. A lot of activities in these 50s. If the 50s are the VPOC of the day, I would not be surprised. Because VPOC is 5,500. The closest is 45. No? So yeah, 40, 47 maybe this VPOC, depending on what happens next. Notice again, these 50s, you have these passive sellers. They're trying to fill these orders in. It's like, wait, come back. And then they disappear. Why? Why that though? I don't get that. For me, that's really intriguing, which makes me believe I feel like that we're in a possible like distribution, and I could theorize all I want to, as long as I'm not placing risk on it. I'm just shooting the shit. But this feels like distribution. Just the lack of volatility is throwing a bit of a wrench into things. I'm gonna go ahead and close this mic, and we'll watch what happens. Anything worth talking, discussing, I'll bring it up. Of course, when I'm muted, we're gonna have some action. You know how it goes. I will add this one thing. Depending on if you have an order flow event down here, I wouldn't be surprised if we see if you have a buy somewhere in this valley. maybe towards the 52 quarter, depending on the event. Possibly buy here because we know we're going to have some sellers here. Maybe like a spray, fill in those orders so we have a nice little sweep that'll brush you up 8 ticks or so, and that should put you in the money, and you'll have a little bit of protection. You can have your stop, like honestly, even if you just want to do like 5 points, given the typical environment, that wouldn't be terrible, but really like 2 points. So you can have like a 8, 10 tick stop, targeting that IB high. This for the hour, that is. Those 57s. All right, I'm going to mute this and start my journal. NQ is trying to bounce off their RTH VWAP. Oh, no. I hate when I do that. I think I just gotta click it, right? Yeah. Wait, so does it just like hide it? Interesting. And again, all this is inside of, we're literally in the middle of our overnight range, which is continuation of the prior day. So here come those 52s that I was talking about. We had these sellers, I would imagine they would try to add more or at least get out of there or offset their trades. All right, I'm going back on mute, take my notes. Sorry, I'm just looking at this. Next section is the mid, same situation as earlier. So I was talking about maybe a potential higher low here, maybe a tick through, down spike, or maybe a hold in this general area for the 28s, 27s. Same situation here for the 450s or the 420 or the 425s. Be on the lookout here for this 5200 here. You want to see like a go through and then a push take you directly into this 54s, looking at the 55s. So yeah, you can have like that ash there, you'll be in and see if you go through, you have your stop here. Really, you can say 3 points here for the 49 corner. So that'd be 12 ticks. You can do the 14 ticks as your target, which will bring you here. So that'd be a 2 to 1. Just looking at the DOM. But notice we didn't have any kind of order flow event. This is just purely just pushing up. But you can look where we're at here. And you can see that's where some stops are. So you notice that thrust you're in, but it wasn't enough to get you in these areas here because we have those thicker sellers who stayed here and then just went back. And they're stacking up again. And now it's coming down. And this is what I was saying. Either they're going to try to be filled, notice that they can't, and re-add, or you're going to burst through. So you got the former, not the latter. and you be getting stopped out or not. And Q still weak. There you go. You be stopped out now. Possibly, depending on your position in the queue. Stop field. All right, mute. Just the FYI, I believe that situation somewhat worked out. We probably would have gotten stopped out on that dime only scalp. Again, this would just be more just like a pullback for the small leg that we're having. This could be a grind up day because I mean this is open test drive and we're supporting higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Same thing, we can easily break up under and then you can short a retest from this mid open. We will not be a part of this. We are done for the day. We're gonna go ahead and close out of these windows that we have up here. We have nothing to save. Gonna go ahead and just start closing some of this down. We'll go ahead and close up at the top of the hour, a few minutes after if we have anything special going on. But we do have 7 minutes to the close, so don't be surprised if we see some kind of action pick up as it is now because people are noticing the same thing and we're gearing up towards these highs again. Um, Mute, yeah. And I'm doing my journal, so don't mind me. This is that break under the area that I was talking about. If we don't hold these bands for ES and this mid for NQ, we may end up testing a little lower. This is somewhat expected. I'd imagine we may bounce here, maybe break that little higher low. But I mean, this is still looking somewhat nice to the upside, but it's just balanced overall. But we may find a high balance to end the week. I haven't checked in with the quote board in a while. Nvidia is still down 1.15% since the 730 reading that we had. Yeah, I mean, I still see this as a potential buy. Given all we know we have sellers there at the 50s, and this VPOC here is at the 47.
Block sell.
There doesn't appear to be much action wanting to be taken. Yeah, we're getting out of these trades. Getting out of these trades before this euro close. Look like we may have a little more continuation. We're not trying to push these prices a little higher. And this will be a somewhat look above and fail. Lower highs this whole time. Now we're making lower lows with the big drop, coil, drop, coil, drop. Very reminiscent of bearish activity. However, we're still doing this within a balanced range. And prices have been skewed a bit higher. Now the VPOC is at 43. At 53.43. Don't be surprised if it goes back to that 57 if we pass through there again, which is where sellers are still there waiting. Now, what's going to be interesting is if you see these sellers step down. I got a minute and a half. I'm going back to my journal.
Block buy.
All right, that's the hour. So potential hold. We may see a bit higher prices as we hold the mid, and we didn't touch the mid in the open for the ES. And Q is holding their mid as of right now.
Block buy. Block cell. Block cell.
All right, GG's. Appreciate you for stopping by and watching this. Done a very good job today. I'm very proud of myself. I'll leave the notes for my own internal notes. But other than that, again, very, very solid day. Gonna go ahead and get started with my day job. Catch you later.